Hello, welcome back. Just a quick apology about last week. I had an awful cold. It lasted about 2 weeks and I looked really rough because I don't cope well with being ill. So I'm sorry that you had to witness that face, and it's bad enough as it is. We're going to do a book review on my third favourite series today. It is by Paul Stewart and Chris Riddell and it is called The Edge Chronicles. The Edge Chronicles is about the world called The Edge and the civilizations in it, the towns, and throughout the series, because there is 5 series, you watch the edge change and all the towns in it, like how that changes, and the weapons from swords to guns. I really enjoyed that part of the book, that you get to see a world evolve. I love it so much. Paul Stewart writes the story and Chris Riddell illustrates. His drawings are out of this world. I love them so much. They're so detailed. I think because there is drawings in them, people think they're children's stories. They are actually made for young adults, but the deaths, the descriptions, which are really good, and the drawings are so gory, I wouldn't let my children read them personally. As I said, there is 5 series in The Edge Chronicles and I can't lift them all at once because I have incredibly weedy arms, so I will show you what order they go in series by series. The first series is about Quint and how it all begins, and the first one is Curse of the Gloamglazer. The second one is The Winter Night. The second series is about a descendant of Quint. Okay, now that whole series, they're all a descendant of Quint. And this is about Twig. He becomes one of the most famous sky pirates in the Edge. And the first one is Beyond the Deep Woods. The second one to that is Storm Chaser, and the third one is Midnight over Sandcofax. The third series, there's a big gap between Twig and Rook, and the first one is Last of the Sky Pirates. Then we move on to Vox, then on to Freeglader. The fourth series is actually a one-off book, and there is a massive time difference from Freeglader to this one, which is The Immortals, and this is about Nate. And then to the current series is about Cade, and there is 2 books currently out. I have read them both, but I don't have the second one. I got it from the library. The first one is The Nameless Ones, and the second one is Doombringer, and there is a third one due out called The Descenders. There is books in between them. I didn't get them when they came out as individual books, so I got them in a collection, Lost Spark Scrolls. This is a story about Quint called Cloudwolf. There is also The Stone Pilot, The Slaughterer's Quest, and The Blooding of Rufus Valentine. I love that you see the world change because it is so different from Curse of the Gloamglazer to the Doombringer. The Edge has never been a cute world where everyone is happy and nice. It's always had a lot of violence and a lot of people that manipulate their people's beliefs, but it is even worse from Gloamcloser to Doombringer. Like, people are nastier, and I don't think that was even possible. Now, in the very early series, well, up until the Immortals, they are always praising the sky. They say, like, thank the sky above. And then into the Immortals, they start to descend over the edge. Now that is like a big thing if you've read them, because beforehand it was like, you don't go over the edge. You know, there is no return. They would go anywhere, they can go into the deep woods, which is a terrifying place. So all really the authors can do now is to move the characters down over the edge, and I can't wait to see what was down there, because at the end of this they go over the edge, and then I thought, oh, the next book will be about what they found, but it never talks about it. It talks about how it's a faux pas and people didn't like that they did it, but you don't know what they found, so I really can't wait to find out in the new series. My favourite book in the whole series is the very first one, and is Curse of the Gloamcloser. Like I said, I love this one so much. I loved Quint and I love Maris. She is such a strong female character. That does follow on in all the books, that all the females are very strong, and I love that about them. But Maris, she ends up being way more important than you first thought. The very first book in the Edge Chronicles I ever read was Last of the Sky Pirates. Now, I love this about the Edge Chronicles, that you can pick up any series first and act like it's a whole new story. And you know, I'll be like, what's that? And then it explains it, so you can go back and start from the beginning, or you can start, say, from this one. And this is my second favourite because it's the first one I read and it has sentimental value. My least favourite is the Immortals. I still enjoyed it, but I think it's because there's such a big gap and your favourite characters are no longer in it, or you don't think they are, and it is a bit it was okay. I really did enjoy it, but everyone has a least favourite book in the series, and it is this one. I'll find you some artwork to quickly show you. This is a great stone chamber library. See that? Look at his drawings, they are amazing, they are so detailed. I follow him on Instagram as well, and every day he just draws something from the top of his head, and then I hate him for it because I can't even draw a stick man. But I also love him because he's so amazing. The only thing I dislike about this series, and it isn't the drawings and it's not the story, is that they changed the covers, and I like all my covers to be the same so they can sit on my shelf all nice. And even though they still have Chris Riddell's drawings, they are very different. If I take the very first one with all the characters, and it's very busy, but I really like it because you can spend ages just looking at the cover compared to the new one, which, you know, it's still got a scene that's important on it and it still has characters, but it's just not the same. I'd read them all before I bought a lot of them. Like I said, I got a lot at the library, and I read Vox before I had it, and then when I got it, the cover's different. So that is next to that, and this is just too glossy to be next to this. I want them to bring back these covers. That is the only criticism I have about these books, because I love going back and seeing the same characters and the same place, and I love that, you know, there's little in-jokes and little things you go, oh, I remember that from the first to the last book. I can't wait for the new one, The Descenders, to come out. I'm waiting for the release date so I can pre-order it on Amazon, and then I can do an unboxing video on this. Please leave a comment below if you've read the Edge Chronicles or if you think you're interested in them, because I really do praise them. So thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.